Hey TPT sellers, in this episode, I'm going to do some TPT SEO by trying to make my products a little bit more attractive. And I'm going to do that using a brand new TPT product description AI tool that I made. And it's currently available for free, so you should go grab it. Today is Friday, October 25th. I need to move the needle in my store, which means I'm going to work for an hour, but I'm not just going to work. I have specific things that I want to change on the outside so that it leads to sales. The very first thing I'm going to do is look at some data to see what might sell well next. And then I'm going to update the attractiveness of those resources because I have some specific resources that I think should be selling well, and I have an idea of how to boost them up. This is not a lesson. This is just check out the link up there. It goes through everything I've learned about the search engine software that TPT uses. Pay attention especially to the part about dynamic re-ranking, because that's the concept that I'm going to be implementing today. The point of me recording this is just for you to listen in the background, ask questions if I say something that you haven't heard before or that goes against what you currently believe. And if you pick up one new idea, I consider that a win. There was a quote from Jack Ma on the pro side in one of our grind posts, and it said, "Never give up. Today is hard. Tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." And I think if we apply that to our TPT stores, that's the hard part about this game, because we work hard on products and we have delayed gratification if we get gratification at all. Sometimes we work hard and resources sell. Sometimes we work hard and the resources don't sell, which I think is how tomorrow can be worse, because you paid so much time and effort into trying to improve your products and you don't get the sale. The question is whether we can still learn and find the energy to keep going until we have that breakthrough moment and we get sunshine the day after tomorrow. So today's going to be hard for me. I have some ideas from a TPT SEO perspective about how the changes I make today might improve sales on that resource, but there's so much we don't know. There's so much out of our control and things that we can't see behind the search algorithm that I think it's really hard to be 100% confident that the action you take today will result in a sale tomorrow. Unless your strategy is to produce a lot of content because you're running on the hamster wheel and you've learned what works and you create more products in those successful product lines, and the variations that you create are selling well, I think then it's just a matter of cranking out the resources or even finding systems to be able to mass produce those resources. But that's not my current approach to TPT. I spend 5 days a week doing 1 hour of content creation work, and I have a specific grammar line that I'm working on that I hope will sell well once the entire curriculum is done, but I'm not entirely sure of that. So 5 days a week, I do content creation. 2 days a week right now, I'm doing product updates. And so I'm going to do an hour today with product updates. By the way, the AI tool that I'm using is currently free. It's a one-click product description AI tool. If you go to Teachers Pay Teachers and type TPT seller in the search bar and hit search, if you scroll down, there's my ultimate bundle. And if you click on that, it is the most recent product in this bundle, the one-click product description AI tool. It explains how to upload things into ChatGPT without allowing ChatGPT to use that information to train the model and help other people. So definitely check out the privacy settings for that. The other tool that I'm going to use today is the self-serve data tool. So you go to selfservedatatool.com. Our first 4-week bootcamp is filling up. It's currently free. And although it officially starts in November, there's some pre-training stuff that's happening this weekend. So if you're interested, check out the 4-week bucket repair bootcamp. If you scroll down all the way to the bottom, there's a Q&A that explains, is this workshop for me? If you've been following the channel for a while, definitely check this out because this bootcamp will cost $97 next year. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set a 1-hour timer. Let's move that to the side. I have an idea of what I want to work on today, but I'm going to just check the data to confirm that it's one of the best sellers that might sell well next month. And then I'm going to work on the product attractiveness. So on selfservedatatool.com, I'm going to click on upload data. I'm going to sign in with my account. I've already saved it to my computer. So I'm just going to browse and find it and upload it to the cloud. And this product.csv file is from today. So it doesn't use Google Sheets at all. So it's a lot easier. I get the green success message, and now I'm going to click on view data. Now I'm going to scroll down, and in the bonus section, it says what might sell well next month. So let's look at that. So I don't need to do that again. And in this snapshot, I can see that in the next 28 days, my reading bundle will probably sell well. And that's because I ran ads last year and I'm continuing to run ads this year. So I would expect the same. I'm interested in looking at these top 5 resources to see if there's something I should fix. So I see my critical thinking bundle. I see my goal setting bundle. If I scroll down, the critical thinking one, like that 60s bundle is what I had in mind that I would work on today because it's been in this top 5 list. If I look in terms of resources that have sold based on sales, I see citizenship debates and the SEL challenge. So those are some resources that might sell as well. Okay. I don't want to spend a lot of time in the data. If I scroll down to the bottom, there's an arrow that lets me pop up the sidebar. In the last 28 days, how have my resources done? So this will only show data once I type in some words and select the resource. I'm going to type in critical thinking. And in the last 28 days, the critical thinking bundle, is it this one? Artificial intelligence, critical thinking. Let's see. Chat GPT and digital citizenship. No, I don't think it's that. Now I have to go see what the resource was called. Critical thinking activities, media bias. Let's look at the last 90 days. All right, so critical thinking, media bias. So in the last 90 days, and this works because every now and then I upload my product stats files to the self-serve data tool. But I can see in the last 85 days, based on the CSV files I've uploaded, I have a 3% conversion rate and I have a 27% preview rate. And then I have 261 page views. I'm going to write that down on a piece of paper again. You can go old school and use actual paper. Now this resource, I don't think it's sold in the last 28 days. It hasn't sold in the last 30 days. It's shown up 48 times. A few people have looked at the previews, but the preview rate has dropped down. So now I'm curious, why has the preview rate dropped down? Let's look at this resource here. I'm going to search up on my store, critical thinking activities. There it is. That's the one we're looking at today. Okay, so it has an evergreen cover. It doesn't have my back to school stuff. It has as a subject computer science. I don't know if that makes a difference. So if I want to increase the previews, it says here on the side, I need to increase the perceived value of the resource. And I do that by either improving the thumbnails. Yeah, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4. So I can show handouts. Or I have to work on the product description because start the first week of school, I think that's probably throwing people off. Why does that say start the first week of school? I think that might be scaring people off. Okay, because that start the first week of school, that's also part of the search snippet. So if I want to get more page views, I have to think about what this resource looks like in the search listing. And it says here, start the first week of school. So this might discourage people from clicking on this resource because they see first week of school. Yeah, that's not for me. All right, so what I'm going to do today is this critical thinking resource is actually a bundle of some component resources, part A, part B, part C. And if I look at these component parts, I wonder if I can do a better job of that first introduction snippet. The very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to download this resource to my computer. I'm going to open up the zip folder. I'm going to extract everything. I'm just going to go to this TPT resource with the product description AI tool. I'm going to download the PDF, save that to my computer. When I open up that PDF, I'm going to click here to get the latest version of this custom GPT TPT product description. I'm going to click here, create an intro snippet for my product based on either a file I upload or a URL I provide. I find sometimes if I'm lucky, if I copy this URL and paste it into ChatGPT, it actually works and it connects to the internet. If it says searching the web, then it says, oh, I can't access it. So I'm going to upload a PDF because I don't think it will allow me to upload a zip file. Let's just double check. I'll click and drag a zip file, but I don't think this will work. Am I worried that ChatGPT is going to take this resource and then regurgitate it to other GPT sellers or other teachers or people? And the answer is no, but that's because I did the privacy opt-out setting that's in that PDF. So go check out the TPT product because it explains how to opt out from the ChatGPT training. Oh, it's trying to import the zip file. Let's see what happens here. It says it's analyzing, but then it has a bunch of zip files. That's interesting. To create an accurate intro snippet for your product, I will need to review one or more of these files. Could you let me know which specific files you'd like to focus on the product description? Yeah, it's the first 5. Please look at the first 5 files. That's fascinating. I didn't think ChatGPT could look at zip files. So now it's looking at the inner zip files. I can see it's analyzing. All right. And now ChatGPT is giving me 2 options for my product snippets. You have to read them carefully because ChatGPT will invent things or take things out of context from your resource. So when I'm checking this, it says perfect for whole class instruction or small groups, which is true. But then it says these no prep lessons, and that is false. There's prep required. Teachers have to read the lesson plan, figure out where the slideshows are. If I say in my product description, these are no prep lessons, I'm going to get angry reviews saying that this is not no prep. So the first option for the snippet was based on the training data, 1,000 intro snippets. The second one here is just ChatGPT working on its own training. And again, it's saying with no prep, ready to use materials. That's part of how large language models like ChatGPT works. It's thinking about other teaching resources it's ever seen. And on TPT, this idea about no prep, ready to use resources or materials, that's very common on TPT. That's not what this product is. But because ChatGPT works on probability, well, if most TPT resources say no prep, ready to use materials, then chances are it applies to this resource. And that's what it's doing here. So it's statistically making a guess. That's what this resource is about, but that's not correct. But I'm going to go with option number 1. Now, before I do anything, I always save the HTML file. That's my undo button. So if I mess up, I can go back to see what I changed. I have a folder pinned here called Backup Descriptions. I go to my product line 6Cs. Here's 6Cs Critical Thinking, and I'm going to paste it in here. In fact, I'm going to call it before. So I'll just add that to the file name, before and after. All right, I'm going to edit this listing. I'm going to copy this paragraph. It says 482 characters, but it hasn't actually correctly counted because I didn't see the analyze window pop up. So it may or may not be 482 characters. Just for fun, I'm going to put this snippet at the very beginning. I'm going to get rid of mentioning the first week of school stuff. I'm going to hit submit. Now, the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this URL. I have a special Google form where I have a tracking log, and I'm going to paste in the URL. And the change I made was 6Cs, critical thinking, added AI intro snippet. Did I save the HTML? Yes. Did I save the product stats? I did that earlier today. Who did this? Mike did it. And I'm going to hit submit. So I have a tracking log here. The reason why I have a tracking log is if I go to my Google Sheet log, this shows me all of the changes that I've made on my TPT store. I'm going to paste the link of that specific resource. And I can see here on September 27th, my VA changed the category, but that was getting rid of back to school. I'm trying to figure out when I change that to computer science. If I go to my folder and I look up my 6Cs backup descriptions, let's go to critical thinking here. Let's sort it by the date. Here is today's file, and it says up here October 25th, and I can see it says computer science. Well, let's go back to July 16th. It says critical thinking, English language arts, back to school. What if I go back to August 20th? English language arts, critical thinking, back to school. Oh, I think maybe a while ago I had it as computer science. I asked my VA to check one of the old files. I'm going to change it from computer science today. I'm going to change it to SEL. This is not just for computer science people. It is for everyone doing social emotional learning. So let's choose that. Here's the problem with doing TPT SEO. We make changes on our store, but right now I changed the subject and I changed the intro snippet. And if we're doing little experiments, it's hard to isolate whether the experiment worked or didn't work because I changed 2 things. Did it change because I improved the intro snippet here? Maybe. Or is it changing because I changed computer science to social emotional learning? Hard to say. If I was really dedicated and focused, I would change one thing only and then wait a week or 2 weeks to see if that made a difference and then change something else. And if I made a mistake, I can always undo my change. But I'm going to now save this. All right. Going to go to backup description, 6Cs, critical thinking. And I'm going to go to my log again. I'm just going to do a new entry, 6Cs, critical thinking, intro snippet plus SEO. I don't have to check off the other things. Those are just things to remind me. It's actually quicker not to check those things off. So when I do multiple changes in the same day, I don't actually change everything. I don't actually record all of those little checkboxes. All right. Technically speaking, TPT SEO's optimization might help people click on my resource if they see it in the search results. So now if I go back to my store and I search for critical thinking activities, I now have a snippet that says, unlock your students' critical thinking potential with this comprehensive collection of activities focused on media bias, fake news, and self-awareness. from hands-on group games to in-depth. So I'm hoping that teachers will read that and then want to learn more, and then they'll click on the resource. Now I'm showing you what it looks like in search here on my TPT store because I just want to fix the snippet. I could go search up a term to try to find what it looks like, but I only have 27 minutes left in this hour, so I'm not going to do that. And now I realize I forgot to get rid of that incorrect part about no prep. That will definitely cause me problems. So let's get rid of this right now. It's not going to help you save time. It's going to help you engage. I'm going to write middle school in here. So what I did right now, which I should have done initially, is I double checked what ChatGPT gave me because there are always going to be mistakes. I'm going to get rid of the word games and change that with activities. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's hit submit. Now I just updated it. Am I going to save that HTML again? Yes, because saving it gives me a backup of what I just did so that if something goes wrong, I know exactly what it used to look like. So let's save this file, backup description, 6 C's, critical thinking, and I'll put as my note, fix AI error. But I'm not going to add a new log entry because in the last log entry, it says that I added the AI snippet. This is a bundle, and there's this idea that the search rank position of a bundle on TPT is influenced by the search engine optimization score for component resources. So I'm going to try to update the snippets for these resources here. I have 30 minutes left in my work period. Let's see how quickly I can do this. So critical thinking A, very first thing I'm going to do is save this. Backup description, 6 C's, critical thinking. I'm going to click and drag this folder out into my sidebar here to pin it. So 6 C's critical thinking. And that's just because I know I'm going to use this a lot, and I'm just going to add before as a suffix. All right. Now I want to download this resource. Just for fun, I'm going to extract all the files here. Here's my ChatGPT conversation with the SEO Printer's TPT product description friend. Rather than try to continue the conversation, I'm going to start a brand new chat to start fresh. So I'm going to click on this drop-down arrow, and I'm going to click on new chat. And that gives me the prompt here. So the one-click link to create an intro snippet. And in here, I'm going to click and drag the PDF files that are part of this zip file. So it's uploading these files to ChatGPT. I'm going to submit this, and then it gives me my 2 options for my intro snippets: editable, lesson plans. Oh, see, it's not, the lesson plans are editable. Are the handouts editable? Yeah, they are. Empower your students. I know some people don't like that because it sounds too flowery. I like the second one better. Now, I'm going to triple click this to select it, which selects the entire paragraph, including the characters at the end. Notice this time that ChatGPT gave me quotation marks. Sometimes it does that. I don't want to use that, but I am going to edit this. So I'm going to edit this free resource. And right now I'm just going to add the intro snippet at the beginning here. I'm going to carefully read through this by getting rid of the last characters. If I leave the characters in there, it looks odd and unprofessional and people will not buy it. Through this interactive group activity, students will write survival items and learn decision-making based on logical criteria. Yep, the resource includes engaging handouts, lesson plans, and slideshows. Perfect for classroom or remote instruction. Instead of remote instruction, I'm going to say online. I'm going to submit this. And now here's my snippet. I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to save this HTML. Here's my 6 C's critical thinking folder. This is critical thinking A, and I'm going to put AI snippet in my notes. And now I go to my log, submit another response. Here's my URL, and I wrote AI snippet. And then I'm just going to hit submit at the bottom. 25 minutes left. Let's do this. Did I save the HTML? I think I did, right? Yeah. I can check by the down arrow here. I can see AI snippet was saved there. You get the idea. I'm going to just work on my own here. Let's see how long it takes me to do all of the included resources. 6 C's B. Pro tip is if you hit the control key as you click on it, it'll open up in a new tab. Let's save this HTML. I'll put before the file name, Control Shift T to open up any pages that were closed. Let's download this resource. I'm going to extract all the files. I'm going to go back and start a new chat with my TPT product description friend. Click on that intro snippet. I can upload by clicking on the attached file paperclip. I'm going to upload from my computer. Oh, it didn't let me upload. That was odd. Let's try again. Upload from computer. And this time it worked. Weird. This time I uploaded the zip file, and then it's opening up some code, and it's extracting the files. It says there's an error. It's not readable. That's odd. I'm going to extract them all on my computer. I find if things go wrong for this tool, I just restart with a new chat so that it doesn't get distracted. So let's upload some files. I've selected all of the PDFs. It gives us an error. You can only upload 10 files at a time. So I'll upload from my computer the handouts and the lesson plans. All right. and then I'll just submit that to ChatGPT. Here are my options for my 500-character product intro snippet. Deep dive into metacognition, identity, and bias awareness. That's exactly what this resource is about. But they're both good. I'm going to do the first one. I mean, it's personal choice. You choose the one that you like the best. And obviously you can cut and paste from the two snippets, but I'm trying to update a bunch of resources. So to save time, I'm just choosing the one I like better. So let's edit the listing. I'm just going to add a hard line, a hard rule at the top here. And then I'm going to add this snippet at the beginning. I just read it, double checked it. It's accurate. Let's submit this. I'm going to copy the URL. I'm going to save my HTML at the end of the file name, AI snippet. And then I've bookmarked my log. And in my log, I'm going to paste in my URL, 6C's Critical Thinking B AI snippet, and let's submit this. All right, that's two resources. Let's try Critical Thinking C. Isn't that a cool trick? Control and click and it opens it up in a new tab. Let's save this HTML and I will save it to Critical Thinking C, and in the file name I write before, and then Control Shift T to open up the page that just closed. And I'm going to now download this resource, Critical Thinking C. I'm going to extract it. And then I'm going to go to my AI conversation. Again, I go to the top and I select a new chat. I click on create an intro snippet. I click on the paperclip to upload from my computer, my PDF files. I can only upload 10. So I'm going to focus on the handouts. That's 3. And then the lesson plans, 7 lessons plus 3 handouts. So let's hit open. It's uploading. Let's just check those. Looks good. And then I'm going to send that to ChatGPT. And it's using my specially trained ChatGPT to create intro snippets. Unlock, pretty common, eh? Unlock. Are your students ready to challenge their thinking? Yeah, I don't love that first one. It's kind of repetitive. I'm going to use the second one here. I mean, I can mix and match, but I don't have enough power for my brain to do that right now. So let's edit Critical Thinking C. And when I paste it in here, are your students ready? Yeah, I like that. There's nothing incorrect in there. Let's hit submit. There's my new snippet. Let's copy the link. Let's save the HTML. Let's go into the correct folder. This is Critical Thinking C. And then in my Google form, I submit another response, paste in the link, Critical Thinking C AI snippet, and then submit. All right, let's do Critical Thinking D. Now, always I save the HTML so that if things go wrong, I can go back and fix it and undo my changes. All right, so I saved it. Now, Control Shift T. Let's download this resource about fake news. Let's extract the files. In ChatGPT, I need to start a new chat. Click on create an intro snippet. I can upload it. I can upload up to 10 files right now. Let's submit this. I use the paid version of ChatGPT, so I'm able to ask it multiple questions and I haven't hit the limit yet. If you're using the free version, it'll still work, but because it's being powered by your free version account, once you hit that free version limit, you'll get that message that you can't use ChatGPT for a bit. I don't know if I want to call it a comprehensive fake news unit. I think I like the first one better. Let's copy that, edit the listing. 11 minutes left. I'm going to get rid of this from the 6C series. I don't have a lot of space. I want to have as many keywords as I can in the first 500 characters because that shows up in the intro snippet in terms of the algorithm. The first 500 characters, I think, have more weight than the product description. I wonder if TPT is doing that. All right, good enough. Let's hit submit, copy the URL, save the HTML. HTML is the code that web pages are coded in. So they're HTML files, they're called. And then I'm going to submit another response in my log. 6C is Critical Thinking D AI snippet. Let's hit submit. Here's the last one, the 5th file. Saving the HTML file. Call it before, download the resource. Let's go to ChatGPT. I always restart the conversation for this specific task where I'm trying to get it to create a fresh intro snippet. Normally, I just talk in the same chat so that it can learn the context. But in this case, each resource has a different context and I don't want them to get confused. So let's upload some files. Now this has 2 parts, part E and part F. Here's lesson plans 1, 2, and 3. So here are my first 3 resources. And then if I try to upload more, I don't know if it's going to work. Let's try it. Let's learn together. Here's Critical Thinking F, and here's the lesson plan for that. Now, oh, it did it. It added it. Okay. So it'll let you upload multiple files from different folders as long as you don't get to 10 files. So let's send this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Which snippet do I like better? It really likes that phrase, unlock. I have to look at the resource. I've forgotten what's in here. All right, my brain's getting tired. I got 5 minutes left. I like the second one better. I don't like the phrase empower. This is where I might come up with a better sentence. So I updated the wording in the first sentence to include middle school students and to get rid of that phrase empower. It's kind of a cliche. It's good enough. And let's hit submit. In the last 3 minutes, let's copy the URL for my log. Let's save the HTML for a backup. Here's my critical thinking EF folder. In the file name, I wrote AI snippet. And then in my log, critical thinking EF. And this is the AI snippet. And then I'm just going to hit submit. So I worked for an hour. I talked into the camera a bunch. I updated 6 resources. And I did some data analysis at the beginning to figure out which resource to work on. Proof of concept will be if in the next week I sell one of these 6 C's critical thinking resources. If you watch this, ask me in the comments and say, hey, Mike, whatever happened with this? Did you sell any of those 6 C's critical thinking resources? Because I will forget to check back on this because I have to update my citizenship and my character and my other resources. Please check out that one-click product description assistant AI tool. I'd love to hear your feedback on it and how it compares with your ChatGPT prompts. Better, worse, the same, easier, slower. If you want me to teach you how to use the self-serve data tool, make sure to check out the bootcamp. The sign-up form for the bootcamp is at the bottom of the page. Next year, it'll be $97. Right now, it's free. In order to participate in the bootcamp, you're going to have a basic membership on the self-serve data tool, and it lets you quickly and easily visualize your sales funnel so that you can see on one page what your previews are like and what your units sold are like. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you on Sunday. Bye-bye now.